video about a DIY Victorian bar fight that I staged for my my friend here, Patrick. It was for his birthday, and it was his idea actually. He posted something on Facebook. Did you remember what it was?
Something along the lines of like, my new bucket list includes like having an old-timey bar fight with like ragtime. Actually, specifically the entertainer, I think, playing in the background. I actually can't even remember why it triggered like what me to post that, but I just thought those bar fights were always really funny, and like the music was hilarious, people getting thrown around. I just wanted it to happen.
So I decided it was going to happen. I first thought to myself, okay, well, how can I need to get a place for this? There's some place called the, you know, I don't remember what it's called, but they had a piano and a stage, but they didn't even write back to me. They were just, I wrote them the concept and they just ignored my message. But I wrote the Sterling Room, which is in the Distillery District, and yeah, you can see the pictures here. It's amazing. It looks like exactly like what you would want it to be. I also needed things that could break and shatter. I made faux furniture. The least that I wanted to have was I wanted to at least have a table. I wanted to have 2 chairs, a bench. I made this by a combination of cutting that pink foam from Home Depot, wire brushing it with a wire brush, putting wood stain on, and as you can see, it looks pretty good. It looks legit. And then I also wanted bottles and glass that would smash, and so I went to a theater company, and they sell props that they use for actual movies, where they, you know, you smash a beer bottle over someone's head. The props fit in really well with the room, and nothing really looked out of place. And then we set everything up, and we waited for him to get there. He thought he was just coming to a normal party.
Yeah. My sister started communicating these odd things to me about like, oh, we're gonna go to this place for your birthday, but I can't tell you anything about it. But then she kept giving like all these weird stipulations where she was like, it has to be kind of like a thick tie. And like, that's very specific and actually doesn't make sense. She's like, do you have just suspenders? I'm like, no, I think. None of this helped at all. Like, I didn't even get a little bit closer to what I thought was gonna happen. So I got there, still confused. It was even getting weirder because they were like trying to usher me in like by myself, and it was completely silent. The people at the bar were kind of giving me this like awkward smile too, and I looked over, and the first thing I saw was Steve dressed exactly like this.
I hired a pianist too to play the entertainer.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was, so he was just like a random like. And then I looked around, and then just like the most random assortment of like friends and like probably acquaintances.
Basically everyone who was willing to pay $20.
But they weren't like in costume, and some people were. Like Hannah was in costume.
And then you have one famous YouTuber friend actually who makes costumes, and she came. She decked out. She normally would. And I think it's still probably like 5 or 10 seconds, even up until when you started talking. I still really didn't know what the hell was going on. Patrick Oyskin, by the ancient laws of combat, I challenge you to a duel. I tried to work in a little bit of Gangs of New York there.
Oh yeah! Are you gonna beat me up? So I was like, oh. Wait, what do you mean? Like, really? Like, actually fight? Like, I obviously can't, like, a good fight against any other people who are dressed up. Everyone was big. It's like you, John, Paul. My first contextual clue that the environment was destructible and interactable.
Cue the first mini-boss here.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, there were fake punching and kicking noises from an app that I gave Fiona on the phone, but Fiona didn't really, she wasn't really trying too hard to time them, so she was just spamming it.
That was amazing. Okay, there was a highlight.
And then John punches through his hat.
Which was a great detail. Holy crap, you put a lot of thought into this. Oh! Amazing.
You know, the chair fell apart a little early. I actually was hoping it would stay together a little longer.
This is so overwhelming sensory. Oh, man. Hit him with I was like hesitant to do that because I started to believe that it was breakable, but it also was very heavy. like threw my head onto a table. That was an amazing break. Like that probably felt the most like realistic. And that's kind of what
I'm making a gift out of this thing.
Yeah, like
I put some good design into that table.
Yeah.
It had the full like padding, so I knew that, and I wanted it to shatter along the middle, so I put some scores along the middle there.
Yeah, so at this point I was just like amazed at how they shattered so amazingly. Exploded off your pelvis.
Yes.
How does that work? What else breaks?
Your ribs.
Okay, we have a great shot of you being overwhelmed with joy here.
The feeling of like smashing someone over the head with a bottle. Oh, it's beautiful. And then the feeling of being smashed over the head with a bottle. It doesn't really hurt, but it completely disorients you. Dragged by John and Steve across the bar top.
It was on the checklist. We were a little more eager,
Yeah.
you know.
And then it was over. And I was on the ground covered in sugar glass and bits of styrofoam and cardboard.
So overall, you know, as a life experience, what'd you think?
Life experience is probably like one of the most unique things that I'll ever be a part of. I'd say like if I were to rate it out of 10 experience, maybe like
yeah.
like an 8.
Like an 8.
Like an 8.2 if I'm generous. I think there's just like there were some glaring omissions, you know, that were not included in this whole shebang, this shindig. I think there was the glaring omission, obviously, of the bartender cleaning the glass and ordering up sarsaparilla for everybody. There was not a single gun used the entire time. Nobody died, which is kind of disappointing, but... Oh!